Nofap family, good day to you, good day to you. I just want to give a reminder of something, a reminder of two things that can help us dramatically when we are on our journey. And you hear about them all the time. That's what's crazy about it. But for some reason, so many of us that start the journey don't practice it. And it can help you dramatically. If you keep relapsing and you're not doing these two things regularly, therein lies the answer. You're not properly practicing NoFap. You know what I'm saying? You're practicing it, but you're not properly. You're not maximizing it by using all the tools available to you. Those two tools are gratitude and meditation. Yes, gratitude and meditation. I hate to have to tell you that because I know you're on your NoFap journey and you're doing your thing. You're trying not to give in to the temptations, this, that, and the other thing, but you're not doing the most effective thing because what you can do is you can cleanse yourself. You can cleanse your nervous system of those lower vibrations. Those lower vibrations are more closely correlated to lust. Therefore, if you cleanse the potential for the energy associated with lust to be in your energetic system and your mind, your nervous system, guess what? It becomes easier not to give into the lust. The cravings go down, and meditation can help you with that. You sit and you practice whatever form of meditation you're going to practice. But when you're in that and you're pinpointing your mind, you're slowing down your thoughts. When your thoughts aren't bombarding your brain as much, what happens is your brain gets a certain relaxation. And when that brain develops that relaxation, guess what? There's a certain energy that's associated with that silence, that slowing down that the brain gets. And the brain is allowed to absorb that energy, and that energy is of a higher vibration. And when that energy comes in you, it helps to eradicate some of the lower energies that are in you that keep you relapsing. You know what I'm saying? So look, if you relapsing all the time and you're not properly meditating at least once per day, it should be twice, but at least once per day, then you should be relapsing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean it like that. What I mean is it's no surprise you're relapsing because you're not maximizing all that you can get out of NoFap by having other concurrent practices along with it. You got to understand what NoFap is. Let's take it back to vibration. Let's take it to the basics. When you retain your semen, a whole lot of stuff happens. I'm not going to get into the physical side of it. What I'm going to talk more about is the energetic side of it, the vibrational side of it. You retain, when you do this, a substance of a very high vibration. You're retaining life force energy inside of you. Life force energy in its natural raw state is of an extremely high vibration. Lust happens to be of a low vibration. But what happens is this energy that you start to accumulate inside of you gets influenced by other energies that you have inside of you in your nervous system, right? Because you're stuck in a lower vibration. So you're accumulating more of this energy, which is good. You're accumulating that energy. You're accumulating it, but you're not properly allowing the lower vibrations that are in you to dissipate. So as a result, the more there's energy stored, it becomes stored, the more it's influenced by the lower vibrations that you already have inside of your body. You know what I'm saying? And so after a while, you pop, you relapse. You have to, as well as you're retaining this new energy, cleanse the lower vibrations that are in you out. And one way to do that is meditation. Why? Because during meditation, you go to a state where you just relax. And when you relax, you release. Relaxation of the mind is closely correlated to release. Release. It doesn't matter what you're releasing. You don't have to try to release. Just let it be. It will happen. Maybe focus upon your breath. Focus upon a particular word, whichever form of meditation you choose, to pinpoint those thoughts, to help with that mental activity, to just allow yourself to be. And when you're being, you're not doing so much. And doing is what has you running around all the time. Half of what you do is things of a lower vibration because you're connected to these senses. You're connected to these senses. You realize they're of a lower vibration as well, right? And when you start to go upon the journey, if you really want to eradicate lust, you have to identify with these senses less. And meditation can help you do that. And as you identify less with these senses, you start to become free of these senses. And when you become free of these senses are what make it so easy for the lower vibration of lust to control you, sometimes consume you, and you keep relapsing. But through meditation, you help to mitigate that from occurring. The other thing that you should do, and this also relates to the vibration that you want to remain in, is practice gratitude intentionally, intently, and consistently. Why does that work? Again, let's take it back to the basics. Let's go back to vibration. Lust happens to be associated with things of a lower vibration, right? And when you have these lower vibrations in you, it starts to influence the energy that you have in you, right? The lower vibration is in there, the energy is in there, and that energy gets influenced by the lower vibration that you have in you. But what can you do? You can get yourself out of that lower vibration so the energy that's in you starts to be influenced by a higher vibration. How do you do that? By practicing gratitude. Thanks. Earnest thanks. Thanks for anything. You know, I'm thankful that I'm able to talk to you right now. I'm thankful that there's not rain outside, because where I live, I'm kind of on something else. I'm like on a permanent meditation retreat right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm living right now. I'm on a permanent meditation retreat and I'm out in the woods. And sometimes out in these woods, it gets a little bit rainy. And when it gets a little bit rainy, the woods ain't like you with a parking lot. You know what I'm saying? It'd be muddy sometimes. So I'm glad I ain't got to deal with a whole bunch of mud today if you want to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that the pollen in the air isn't bothering me as much today. Sometimes it does happen to bother me because there's so many trees around, so many different flowers and growing and stuff like that. You start to get that yellow pollen. It's not bothering me today. I'm grateful for that. I mean, anything. I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy there was a beautiful moon last night. But when you start to do that, you're seeing it in real time. When you start to do that, your vibration starts to change because you're you're creating a connection with and identifying with things of a higher vibration. You're grateful for it. It's of a higher vibration, but you're doing it intentionally. And when you start to do that intentionally, not only does it become a habit, so it just becomes you, but also when you're in that higher vibration of gratitude, you're eradicating lower vibration. So it becomes a bridge to love. It becomes a bridge to intentional creation. Gratitude will help you so much upon your Nofap journey. Big time gratitude will help you. If you continue along your path and you find yourself relapsing, but you know you can do better, practice meditation, practice gratitude. Gratitude can be practiced all day in each and every moment. Do you know how much that will help you? Do you know how much that will help you? Because you're allowing yourself to be in a positive vibration, a grateful vibration, a thankful vibration. That vibration is above the vibration of lust. So slowly what you start to do is you start to change your vibration so it's higher. You literally start to vibrate higher than lust. You start to vibrate higher. It's just not something we say. This is something we practice based on something very real, a very true phenomena that occurs. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll find yourself relapsing so much less. So when you're on the Nofap journey, it is crucial that you understand that you're also on a vibrational journey. You're leveling up. You're rising. You're cleansing. Why are you cleansing? Because when you cleanse, what happens? When you retain your semen, when you start to cleanse, you start to store more energy. Did you know that when you actually start to store more energy moves throughout your energetic system? As more energy starts to move through your energetic system, think about it like electricity. The volts start to increase. The wattage increases. It's producing more. And when it produces more, it starts to go up. It starts to rise up. And as it starts to rise up, it cleanses itself. Why? Because you think about it. You know, they say that if you exercise, it can actually help to prevent certain invaders from sticking to the inside of your veins. The reason why is if you think about it, it's basically your veins, right, allowing blood to go through them. Blood going through them is like blowing and cleaning the inside of the vein. So when you get your blood pressure up, that's what, I don't mean in a bad way, but when you increase it, in a good way through exercise or something, the heart starts to pump faster, things start going through the vein to keep the system circulating. It's the same with your energetic system. When you're retaining your semen, what happens is more energy starts to become within you, within your energetic body. You do have an energetic body, start to connect with it. I have some videos on that, watch them. But when you start to cleanse your energetic body, what happens is it starts to create a system. Now, the more energy you retain, the more energy you, the more you cleanse the system. The more you cleanse the system, the more the energy flows. The more the energy flows, the more the energy starts to cleanse itself. So then you start that flow and you just keep retaining. And that's when you get the true benefits of Nofap. But some people never allow themselves to get there because they keep relapsing. They keep relapsing because they're not practicing meditation. They're not practicing gratitude to the extent that they should be or could be if they really want to achieve the goal. So meditate, intentionally practice gratitude. I don't care if you got to set your clock for every 3 hours. Remind yourself to practice gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing? Boo, boo, boo. Oh, my clock's going off. Gotta do my gratitude. Reset the clock for another 3 hours. It's right on your phone. You got to start using this device that you have in your hand for good things. The problem is you have this great thing, and I'm not even going to talk about how it's a computer and you have access to all the information in the world just at your fingertips. I'm not going to talk about that aspect. I'm going to talk about the fact that you have a clock right there, and that clock could be used to remind you to meditate for 15 minutes. I'm afraid I'm going to fall asleep. Set your clock with the alarm on it for 10 minutes. At least try a 5-minute meditation. You could do a mini. You know what I'm saying? You could set it for gratitude, like I just said, for every 3 hours. Start using this device you have in your hand to bring positivity to you into your life, to enhance your life instead of taking away from it. Always being on some app, spending hours, spending days. No. That's not going to get you to where you want to be. That's not going to help you on your NoFap journey. Turn your blue light filter on your phone. Turn it on night mode. Stop the invasion of all that light. Remember, everything is light. You are light. You start studying chemistry, what you're going to start to realize is that when you really dig in to these elements, these molecules, these atoms, you find energy. Energy is light. You find light. So you sitting up here on this phone, letting light into you, and you are light. Don't you think this external light somehow affects your internal light, especially since you are an expression of natural light? When you eat food, what is it? It is a whole bunch of other stuff, but there's actually stored sunlight. When you eat fruit, you know what I'm saying? When you eat vegetables, you're eating a lot of stored sunlight. You know what I'm saying? When you walk out in the moon and you're walking out, what are you actually walking under? You're walking under sunlight. There's light. You have to understand how light is affecting you. That's another thing, just a little bonus thing while you're on your journey. Watch the usage of your phone. Watch the uses of the time you're using your phone. And I just don't mean the length of time. I mean the time of day. You have certain rhythms. You are on a pattern like everything else. The sun rises, right? The sun falls in a pretty predictable pattern. That's the sun. And it's under a pattern. You think you ain't under some type of pattern too? You are. You know what I'm saying? As all things are. And so once you start to become more cognizant of these patterns, you can use them to your advantage. So that's a lot of tools I just gave you. The first tool is to practice gratitude. The second tool you could practice is meditation. A third tool you could practice is understanding yourself, that you are light, and monitor how much light you allow in yourself and the different light that you have around you, the different light waves, such as your phone. The other one is to maximize the use, the benefit, the capabilities of this device that you have in your hands, at your fingertips. You know, if you're having trouble being on NoFap because you keep relapsing to porn or something like that, download the Detoxify app or other type of app that you can use. Use the phone to help you, not to hurt you. Okay, phone, I know sometimes you get me. I find myself going to the hub. What I could do instead of that is download this app, and maybe I'll go ahead and use the panic feature. You know what I'm saying? Detoxify got a panic feature app. You go ahead and you hit panic, yo, your phone is locked. You ain't getting in your phone. You know how useful that is when you get them cravings? Because you know you think differently when that dopamine starts to build in your brain. You be like, yo, I'm all about the NoFap. I want this benefit. I want that benefit. You know what I mean? Then the next thing you know, you get a little dopamine rush in your mind. You get a little thought. You get a little craving, you get a little desire. You know you shouldn't give in to it, but you think you control it because you got a little bit with you right now. But then as you give in, more of that dopamine comes in and it sucks you in and it draws you in. You thought you were just gonna look at one image. Next thing you know, you back on the hub. You back on the hub. You looking, you think you just gonna look and get out. Next thing you know, it's video after video after video. Next thing you know, you've accidentally released. Was it accidental or was it on purpose? You knew what was going to happen. You just didn't have the ability to prevent yourself from doing it at that time. Use that Detoxify app. Go ahead and put that phone on lock. So even if you do walk away, you can't come back to it for a period of time until you come down. Once you come down. So go ahead and exercise some of that. And I think you will notice a big difference in your journey. Thanks for your time.